Welcome back to another episode of Active Life, Happy Life. Today we're going to talk about retirement, when to retire. Maybe a little bit more cathartic ventilation than anything for me because I'm really on this bubble. I'm trying to decide when to retire. So a little bit about me. I'm 56 years old. I'll be 57 in a few months. I have worked in state government for over 35 years in law enforcement. And I was in the National Guard before that. So I've got about 40 years, including my National Guard time, of my working history. And I worked on a farm before that, things like that. But, officially working 40 years, it's a long time. And 35 years in law enforcement is a really long time. It's gone by fast, but it's a long time. And the average police officer, their lifespan is 57 years. So that's hitting me pretty hard. I think that's what's got me in the position I am right now about pulling the plug, retiring, and enjoying my life, what I have left of it. I've been physically active my whole life. I'm in good physical shape. Mentally, I'm probably better than average. I have my days, just like everybody else. But a lot of the stresses of my life are in the past. I've raised two daughters. I put them both through college. I put myself through college as a non-traditional student. Finished my undergraduate degree after I retired from the state police, and then went on to finish my master's degree. So paid for all of it. I'm debt free. My house is paid for. My cars are paid for. My girls are gainfully employed. My wife has gone back to work part-time just because she had some empty nest stuff going on with the girls being gone. And I get it. Like, everybody needs a mission. And I think that's a big question about retirement is like, what are you going to do next? The mundane activity of getting up every morning, Monday through Friday, or whatever your work schedule is, and getting ready, getting to work, fueling up your car, fueling up yourself, eating breakfast, getting coffee, whatever it is, making it to work, putting in a full day's work, making it home, just so that you can have dinner, hopefully have dinner with your family, and prepare yourself to do it all over again. It's a lot. It's a lot. And when when you're in the grind, when I was raising my daughters, like I was working constantly, just trying to make ends meet and make sure they had everything they needed. So as I get towards the end, I've set myself up for success. But it's just that idea of popping smoke and no longer being actively, gainfully employed. The questions come into play. Am I financially ready, mentally ready? All those things keep coming back. And I think the answer is yes to all of them. And quite honestly, I love creating things. I love building stuff. I love working with my hands. I love creating content for YouTube. And I'm hoping to continue to do more of that. I love the creative aspect of YouTube and just creating content and the interaction between the viewers and the content creators. So maybe that's something. And that's really what I've been contemplating over the last few days. I had a conversation in the office last week with a coworker, and I was giving him all the reasons why, I should retire, he should retire, and then we go on about our merry day and just continue working. And over the weekend, I just had an epiphany of like, I need to listen to my own words. I need to listen to my own advice and really think about, is it time? And none of us know how much time we have left on this earth. My parents are in their upper 80s. I rarely get to see them because I'm either working or I'm tired from working or I have whatever excuses from work or family. It just seems like work gets in the way of a lot of stuff. Work just doesn't seem as fulfilling as it used to anymore. I think that's just natural. I think it's natural. And the fact that police officers live 57 years, and I'll be 57 this year. And I personally know people that I've worked with over the years that have died in their late 40s, early 50s. That weighs on me. And I want to enjoy my life. Like, I've worked hard. I've had a very honorable, virtuous career. And at some point, I just want to enjoy it. I just want to be a free man. That's what I call it. I just want to be free. I want to do what I want to do, when I want to do it, work for me, instead of me pouring myself into someone else's success. I like to kind of pour myself into my own success. And I did that a little bit during my career. And I know it sounds selfish, but I think you understand what I mean. It's like, being self-employed versus working for government or, a factory, things like that. My father worked for General Electric for 36 years before he retired. And the guy worked so hard. And then he retired from that and went on to farming full time. So he's a hard worker, hard work ethic. And he retired at 55. My brother retired at 55. And here I am, 56. I kind of feel like I'm pulling up the rear here, a little late to the game. But it is what it is. But it's just a struggle mentally to get over that hump. Do you lose your identity? I don't think I will. I think I've pretty much left everything on the field. And I don't think I'm going to have any regrets. I think I've done everything I can do. I've done some pretty cool stuff during my career, some of which I'll talk about on this channel as it relates to mental health, physical health. So I have a legacy. I've written a book, published it, self-published it. So I think I've made the difference I need to make. And at this point, I really don't feel like I'm making a difference anymore. And that's really is what is pushing me towards retirement. Because as long as I'm working, I'll never fully commit myself to this YouTube channel, some other endeavors I have in mind. I have so many things that I want to do, that I've wanted to do for years, that I haven't done because I've been working and because I have the safety and security of that salary. And I feel like I'm a slave to the money. I feel like I'm a slave to that salary. And with everything, being debt-free, and I do have a pension, which is a blessing from my first law enforcement career. I feel like I'm financially safe or stable enough to make this jump into the next part of my life, what I like to call the second half. I'm a big football fan, so a lot of football analogies come to mind when I think about just life in general. But this is the second half of my life, knowing that I don't even really fully have the full half. I may have another quarter left to play. So maybe I'm in the fourth quarter of my life and the clock is ticking. So what am I going to do with it? Am I going to continue to drag myself to the office every day for mundane tasks and, pouring myself into helping somebody else be successful? Or am I going to take a chance, which I'm not really big on taking chances, take a risk, and see what happens. See what happens with this channel, see what happens with the other things that I have in mind. And that excites me. And I haven't been excited in a long time. My wife told me the other day when I broached the subject with her, she shared with me that she thought I'd been depressed for a while. And quite honestly, after she said that, I realized I probably have been. It's just, I'm just not motivated by what I do anymore. So I think it's time. If it's not time, it's really, really, really close. And it's exciting to think about the potential for what's to come. Where are you in your retirement ideas? Well, what are you thinking? Are you close? Are you preparing? One of my favorite quotes is begin with the end in mind. And it's really hard to do when you're young. But you have to prepare yourself because you may end up living long enough to need a retirement. So what are you doing to prepare yourself to get to the point where I am today, to be able to make that decision? Am I going back to work, or am I going to retire and spend the rest of my life doing what I want to do? Man, it sounds so good. It sounds so powerful, so empowering. The feeling of freedom, Braveheart comes to mind. And I hope I'm not being over dramatic, but that's what it feels like to me. I just feel like I've been almost chained for the last couple of years because I have so much more potential to give, and I'm very restrained where I'm working now. So prepare yourself. Or are you close? Are you like me? Are you one bad day away from just saying the heck with it and going home? What do you want to do when you retire? Do you have other things that you've always hoped and dreamt of doing, like me? Or are you just going to ease into it, enjoy your cup of coffee, enjoy a good book, a good walk, and just a peaceful life? Are you going to travel? What have you done to prepare yourself to make that decision? And how close are you? Let me know what you think below. And if this has given you any pause about just where you are in life and where you are with retirement, hit that like button, subscribe, and follow me on my journey, because I will be making this big decision over the course of the next few days or weeks. Let's see where it goes. And the more people that like and subscribe, quite honestly, that's going to give me the power to say, I'm done. I'm retired. I'm moving on to the next chapter, the second half, the fourth quarter, whatever I have left. I'm going to pour myself into that, and I'm going to love it. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I hope you have an active life, and I hope you have a happy life. Thank you.